Welcome to the Classes Permanent Podcast. Today is Friday, June 5th. We have episode 51 here ahead of us. We have a lot to talk about. We have not podded since last Thursday. Last Thursday, we talked about the Champions League final, a preview. Now it's time for us to recap it. But on top of that, there's been some craziness in the world of footy. Real Madrid is having, I have no idea what to call it, an election. Arne Slot has been fired. We are getting even more national team lineups. We're going to jump into our World Cup predictions. Should be a good one. Let's get into it. Away we go.
Class is permanent! Hey, 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 hey. Form is temporary! Hey, 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 hey. Form is temporary!
Alrighty. We are back. We're back in the stew. By stew, I mean me in my bedroom, Pucc in his, us virtually. And I'm here with a man who I did not hear from for a good 4 to 5 straight days, Daniel Capucci.
That's Cap. I texted you the next day.
Took a lot for you to come out of the hole. It took a lot for you to come out of the hole.
It was actually a long day, personally.
Oh,
so
I'd imagine. Actually, I can't imagine. I've never lost one of those.
You had
Which of my teams lost that?
Tottenham.
You know, it's funny. You're totally right.
Yeah, I know.
You're totally right.
I'm right.
I did lose one of those.
Yeah. No, but it was like a long day, a great day Saturday, honestly. Saw a bunch of family, hung out a bunch, saw the game at a bar, which was with all my family, which was fun, and then kind of went around. And for people complaining that we didn't drop an episode Tuesday, hey, people, listen. Ethan and I, the players get a break.
Yeah, we needed some time off.
We needed. You're getting your episode now Friday. It's just a week break. Some podcasts go on break for a whole 3-4 weeks.
I know.
They're
we're
like,
not.
they're like season's done. Not us.
Not us.
We
back.
just needed a few days to cool off. We've been going nonstop since December. It's been
That's
6
insane.
or 7 months of just us hammering the line. So
Oh my God, you're totally right. We deserve those days off.
We deserved one episode, one day where we just needed to reset the jets, and we're back and we're fully run. We're like Cool Runnings here.
Oh, good movie reference. Yeah, I mean, going off what Pooch is saying there, let me tell you, it's funny. I mean, I wanted to do the pod because we had stuff to talk about. And it's kind of one of those things that's weird. It's like, I don't know. When you're a kid, you're like, oh, why would I not blow that off? I'm tired. But as you become an adult, you're like, no, there's responsibility. Like for the 20 of you listening, I feel like deeply responsible to do this podcast. We do not have any financial commitment. Like we don't get anything out of this.
No.
I just get to know that somebody's hearing my horrible takes. But I will say, when Pooch texted me on Monday, like, hey man, I can't do it tonight, I was extremely relieved. Relieved. I was a little bit like, I was planning for it, but you know what? I was like, we could take a break. And then Pooch was like, oh, I can't do it Tuesday night either. Or I couldn't really because I had to work late. And then I was like sitting there, I was like, damn, like this is really bad. Like the podcast is falling off. And then I sat there and I was like, I've been exhausted. I slept in yesterday and I was like, I don't even know what we would have spoken about. I mean, I think Thursday night at the end of we record on Thursday nights, the end of that episode, I think it came out for both of us. We had lost all the steam. We both looked at each other and we're like, we're not arguing. Let's just end this thing. No one's made it this far.
And realistically, this week especially, it's a lull in the season where we're ramping up for the World Cup for next week, late next week, but also at the same time, realistically, we only needed one episode this week because Tuesday would have just been Champions League talk.
Literally.
And then exactly what we're talking about today.
Yep.
So then today would have been like, well, what are we going to talk about? Where you're going to get a 20-minute podcast.
True.
At that point, we shouldn't even do it. So you want to know what? It's the best of both worlds. Ethan and I, we're back. We're at full fitness. And we're ready to give you guys the best World Cup experience of your lives.
Wow. Man, sounding like Infantino. Let's jump into the news then, so we get into the good stuff. So for those who live under a rock, Real Madrid are in the middle of their election, their new presidential election, and they've begun doing, I guess, campaigning and going on local news networks and such to, say why they should be president. Riquelme, not the player, but the candidate running against Florentino Perez, had been hinting to everybody that he had a big blockbuster signing. He was like, I have legal documents signed saying that if I become president, this player will sign. I will reveal it tonight. goes on the show. He reveals that the player is Erling Haaland. He even has a jersey made that says Haaland 9. Everybody, I don't think anyone was like, oh, he's going to sign. Like, I think everyone was like, oh no. Like, why did you do this to yourself? Erling Haaland's camp came out with a statement, I think, within 20 minutes. Like, within 20 minutes, they came out with, like, this is all not true. We don't know why he's doing this. Manchester City is now threatening legal action. He also said he was going to sign Rodri, which sounds more believable. I think Rodri did come out with a statement, but it was a little bit more like, oh, I'm a Manchester City player. I'm not talking about anything else, which I don't really think closes the door on that. But I don't know how you could have made it easier for Florentino Perez. I don't like that's campaign ending right there.
Yeah. On the flip side, this has helped, I think, Perez get his fastball back.
Okay.
Because hear me out, because today or yesterday, news came out of Perez saying, I have a Galactico, 150 mil. I won't tell you his name, but he will be a Real Madrid. That is the difference between Riquelme, not the player, and Perez. Riquelme will outwardly just be like, here, I'm going to sign Haaland. I'm going to sign Rodri. And then you have Perez who says, I'm going to put in a bid, 150 mil for this player.
Yep.
You don't know who it is. He's not in the Prem. He's not a defender. He's not Haaland, Kane. And but now, we're sitting here and we're like, I mean, we were texting earlier. We were like, could it be Vitinha? Could it be, I think it's João Neves, but could it be Neves? Could it be so-and-so? Could it be this person? And that is the aura that Perez has when he has his fastball.
Yeah.
It feels like Mbappe had maybe taken over that dictatorship role at Real Madrid, but I think people forgot who the real dictator is at Real Madrid, and it's Florentino Perez.
Wow.
And I think this just helped him kind of be like, oh my God, I'm the dictator, not Mbappe. I'm going to make all the moves.
Yeah.
And I think it's helped him. He's back in the game. He's juiced up.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And on top of it, so Real Madrid have not been idle in the transfer market. So they've confirmed that they've signed Denzel Dumfries. That was a really quick signing, but honestly, it kind of makes sense.
He had a 20 mil release clause, I think. That's
okay.
Why.
Yeah, so that makes sense. It's funny. A lot of Real Madrid fans are like, oh, we just got our Mycon. It's like they don't play at all similar at all. They just see black fullbacks that are strong, and they're just like, oh, Mycon.
I think from what I saw too, he's expected to be the backup to Trent.
I mean,
but at the same time, both are starter, or one's a starter for the Dutch, but Trent didn't even make the team. But both are extremely good wingback, fullbacks, whatever you want to call them.
You have really good opportunity there because you have two different profiles where a guy like Dumfries is. They're both not really defensive. Like Dumfries doesn't really defend. I know people want to look at him because he's fast and again strong and probably be like, oh, he's a great defender. That doesn't mean he actually defends though. Now I don't know his numbers, so I'm not going to say he's a bad defender. But you have two profiles there that don't really defend. But at least Dumfries, you could at least say athletically he should be more adept to. Trent is in a bad spot here, man. I mean, this whole move, he should have stayed at Liverpool, stayed a legend, the whole thing, whatever. But
I disagree because they're bringing in the guy that played next to him for the past few years in Konate as well.
I still don't think that helps them. I think Konate is actually a decent signing for them, but I also think Konate is again a guy that if you look at him, you're like, oh yay, fast center back. But I also think Konate is not that good. I
agree with what you're saying. Like he's not you're not sitting there being like, oh, I'm scared of Konate,
Correct.
but at the same time, it's he's a really solid center back. If you would want him on your team, you sit there and you'd be like, I want him on my team, but he's never going to be a Van Dijk type of
That's
player.
my point. It's not like if you told me Van Dijk was playing next to Trent, which I know they never really played. Van Dijk plays more like a left center back, and obviously Trent's at right back. I'd be like, you know what, that would give me a little bit more because I'm like, well, he just that's the leader of their back line, so maybe there's a connection. My thing with Konate is I don't know. I've always wanted to like Konate because again, you look at him, it's oh, he's an athletic center back. He gives me very much Ronald Araujo vibes. Yeah. Where it's you look at me you should be the best in the world, and then you watch him and you're okay, you're all right. You know, I don't know. I even think about some of the youth kids I coach that one kid is taller than the group and faster, but can't kick the ball. And you're oh my God, dude, if you just pick this up, you could be so good. I wish I was your size at your age, please. And it's the same type of vibe. It's maybe he's just not that good.
and at the end of the day, too, Konate, what he does bring out a positive note is a competition as well for like a Dean
100%.
Boyson or an Adair Militao, where
Yeah.
it's like,
Well,
hey,
Militao's competing with his own fitness.
yeah,
So,
well, that's well,
he's got
I
a lot of
also
competition
saw,
there with his own body.
yeah, I saw that they're looking also for a hybrid left back center back, and the
Okay.
two names that I saw Real Madrid news wise come out with is Gavardiol and Catafiori.
Yeah,
So
I've seen a
it
lot about
seems,
Calafiori.
yeah, it's an interesting one because I could see Arsenal basically being like, give us 70 mil and you can have him
Yeah.
because of his injury issues.
Yep.
But he is such a unicorn when fit. In my opinion, he's the best left back in the Premier League when he's fully fit. And you're like, he does what Nico O'Reilly does, but a bit better. Maybe not the finishing aspect, but like
I'd
he's
argue
a
like
better defender. He's a better defender
that's fair.
initially than Nico O'Reilly. And he does the same thing in terms of getting up the field and basically playing as a second striker as a left back. So it's just such a unique profile that I don't know if Arsenal would let him go for like 40, 50 mil. Like it seems like it would be higher than that.
Yeah, it's
And
a tricky one.
and then at that point, if you're already paying 70 mil, what's another 20, 30 to get Gavardiol, who I think is head and shoulders above Calafiori?
Yeah,
Like it's
I
like
really
at that
like
point you go for him.
I really like Gavardiol. I mean, for Barca, now that they're not going for Bastoni, I actually like, and my viewpoint is they should just spend 100 mil. If they have this like 200-ish mil that they're kind of looking at, I feel like they should spend 100 mil on a striker, 100 mil on a center back, and just call it a day at this point. It seems like I'm seeing worrying reports that it looks like they're willing just to stick with their center back core, which isn't horrible, but it's just like we've been begging for like an elite defender next to Kubarsi. Kubarsi actually has decent defensive metrics and he plays well, but like Mickey Van de Ven would be perfect because he'll do all the sweeping up in the back. I don't really want Van de Ven because I don't think he's the right fit right now. But I think a player like Gavardiol coming with experience, coming with the fact you just know you could plug and play him. Calafiori for me, I see and I agree kind of with what you're saying on his day, especially. If I'm Madrid, like if they signed him, again, not a player that would scare me. And I only say it in the sense like, well, is he fit? And
well,
on top,
that's been his biggest issue his entire career is he's just never fit. And that's like one thing why I could see Arsenal basically being like,
yeah,
hey,
you guys
like,
should.
For 70, like 50 mil, no, we'll give him another year because we basically got him for 50 mil. So it's like he's 24 years old. He's still kind of young in terms of soccer years. Like that's not a guy you give up on.
Are you guys going to sign Hincapie full time? Because I know he's a loan, right?
It was basically like a handshake agreement.
Okay.
It was an option to buy, but it was like a handshake agreement that we were going to buy him.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because if you didn't, he's probably in the same range, and like that's someone I'd feel more confident with. Just healthier.
that one's interesting too because I heard rumors that Barcelona really want him.
I love Hincapie. Like again, what gets
tricky. Get your bum out.
That's a crazy chant.
Did you at the Arsenal parade? Ben White was hammered. First of all,
I didn't watch the Arsenal parade.
I know, but legendary performance by Ben White.
Okay.
Quick tangent at the Arsenal parade. He not only got super hammered, but he threw Martin Odegaard's meta glasses into the crowd. He then decided to throw Victor Gyökeres's meta glasses into the crowd. He got on the mic and said, "Declan Rice, do your song," and made Rice sing Rice Rice Baby. And then like halfway through took the mic off of Rice and just started no tune, just started going, "Hincapie, get your bum out. Hincapie, get your bum out."
That was insane. I mean,
he just had a legendary like parade performance by him.
Did they sing Champions of Europe?
Nah, Champions of England.
Interesting.
Something you haven't won in almost 100 years. So
I've never actually won it. I'm an American, and my name's Ethan. I'm still trying to win the NJ Play Sports Championship. Semifinals and finals this Sunday in Clifton, New Jersey. Please pull up and support the pod.
Yeah, back to
actual ball talk.
So the only reason I say Calafiori could be an option off the table is we've been looking into Nathaniel Brown, the guy that just got called up from Germany.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I know a lot of teams.
Yeah, Arsenal are like monitoring him heavy. Awesome. And once again, what does that word mean? like monitoring heavy.
Dude,
Like
monitoring him is doing what you and I are doing. They're like,
yeah,
oh, he's
you've
good. Yeah.
discussed him. You've discussed him. Cool.
You guys are sitting at a table like, Noah Brown's pretty good. And everyone's like, or
Yeah.
Nathan, yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
good. And it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. So put him on the monitoring list. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. He's on the monitoring list now. We're gonna move him to assessing next.
But back to Real Madrid in general.
Yeah.
Watch this space for Mo Salah to sign there as well. Watch this space.
I hope they do that. That's such a bad
Watch
signing.
this space.
Such a bad signing. I'm seeing reports now from Madrid Zone as of 8:47 p.m. on Thursday night that Perez's superstar target is Vitinha.
Out. That's not as happy. He's great. Don't get me wrong. I would rather have João Neves for 150. Younger, better looking.
I prefer John Evans. I can understand why some people might not, in the sense like he's small, but like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, especially as a DM. But funny enough, that's a position Real Madrid really need. Like, they need to reinforce their midfield because their midfield sucks. I mean, Camavinga had a horrible year. Tchouaméni is doing shifts at center back.
Danny Ceballos is going hiatus.
Is he? Good for him. Danny Ceballos is probably one of the players I hate most. A little tangent, because I remember watching him. I think it was at the U19 or U20 World Cup. He was the captain of the Spain team. I think they won it. Maybe it was the Euros.
They did. Because when we first signed him, and Arsenal was literally like just begging for anything.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, when we got him on loan, were like, he was the under-18 World Cup captain winner or whatever. And everybody's going nuts. They're like, we have one for the future. And I'm like, isn't he like 20 years, like 21? Like, that was a few years ago. Like,
yeah. Well, he played terrific at that tournament. I remember watching it. Don't ask me why. I just
why were
watched
you watching it.
Fuck, you asked me why.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was watching the tournament. It was just on TV. And I remember being like, this guy's a baller. Like, I really like this guy. And then he signed for, did he go Arsenal first and then Real Madrid? Or did he go Real Madrid on loan to Arsenal, sign for, no, he must have went to,
he went Real Madrid, although I think he was in the academy at Real Madrid.
Correct.
And then he went on loan to Arsenal for a year. He played really well for us. And then we got him on loan for a second year because Arteta loved him.
Yeah.
And then he did dog shit. And
that's it.
And then he went back to Real and he's just been at Real Madrid.
Yeah. So he started at Betis. And I remember, so we said 2018, he's our age, I think, right? Born in okay. He's already 29. Goddamn. Long story short, I remember he was at Betis and everybody be like, oh, I'd love for us to sign him. And then Real Madrid signed him. And I was like, fuck, I can't like this guy anymore. I hate Danny Ceballos. Anyway, we'll see what happens at Real Madrid. I mean, Perez is going to win that election. That's not even a question.
That guy Riquelme screwed himself when he's naming the guys.
I can't believe he did that.
The minute he named,
I can't believe he did that.
Player, like you're over. Like you're done.
It is a lose-lose situation because here's the thing: you name the player, he signs. Well, you said you were going to do what you did, so it's not like you're like everyone's like, oh, or it's like, well, you said you were going to do that, so that's the promise.
And
you say it, and then the transfer falls through. Even right, you get elected, and the transfer falls through. Now everyone's like, what the fuck? Or this happens where the player comes out and it's like, yeah, that's not, he's just making shit up. And now you're just like, well, what did he think Erling Haaland was going to say?
And also, like, he needs to take a book out of Florentino Perez. When they signed Luis Figo, he was like, I have a literally what he's doing where he's like, I have a superstar. If you elect me, this superstar will be our player. And then he put his balls on the table and signed Luis Figo.
Well,
and everybody's like, holy shit. Like,
here's the thing. What Perez is doing right now is brilliant. Just go sign someone for 150 mil. And then you're like, this was my Galactico. And everyone's like, oh, shit. Like, whatever. Let's move on. So in the time that we've recorded, Arne Slot has been fired from Liverpool. And Adoni Idiola, you want me to call him Areolas because you're a child, has been appointed. First off, shout out Areola, because this bloke was about to go to Crystal Palace. He was about to take the most sideways step of his career. And he luckily, at the buzzer, Liverpool was like, we got you. Which I really like the appointment for Liverpool. I think he'll do well there. I mean, it's also stupid on Liverpool's part because you could have just had your club legend coach you and you wouldn't have had any of the backlash and everyone would have received Xabi Alonso so well. Like, they're kind of they're poised to play with two of his former players. Like, I don't know how they've butchered this so badly. Some people said that they wanted Slot to stay just to see the season out to make sure they got Champions League or got Europe, which I kind of understand. But at the same time, it's like I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot, but like they're still they figured out a way. Like, they only hit themselves in the toe. You know, like they were like, all right, well, we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questionable decisions going on at Liverpool. I mean, they let Trent go on a free last year. They let Konate go on a free this year. Szoboszlai apparently might run down his contract.
Yeah,
And then you have Mo Salah, who maybe with Areola coming in, like he stays now. Like
no,
Slot's
let him
not
go.
there,
Yeah,
maybe he stays. But I have a feeling he's just going to leave anyway. So it's like you're losing your three of your more important players of the past 5 to 10 years
yeah,
um for about probably it's going to be like 15, 20 mil, like, and it's just like it's just poor kind of handling of some of these situations,
yeah.
because even a guy like Kanate last summer, get rid of him and bring in Mark Gahey.
Well, that was the
Like,
whole thing. If you remember last summer with Real Madrid, there was a
yeah,
whole thing where Real Madrid literally told them, they're like, well, fine, we'll just wait and we'll just sign him next year for free. And Liverpool's
I
like, fuck it.
I think that might be the way we're pushing towards eventually, where just some of these players are just so outpriced, like an Mbappe, like
Yeah,
I guess not Kanate, but like a Trent, where it's just like the big teams might just tell these guys like, hey, become a free agent. Like
yeah. Just
we
stay one
might
more
be
year.
going to a more like American model. Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying next year, but like 20 years from now, it might be like, hey, this is this year's free agency class, and you have like the likes of like players at the level of like Harry Kane, Yamal, um, like prime or not, like just like crazy, like talented guys
yeah,
that are just free agents because it's going to take 150, 200 million to sign one player. And a lot of
yeah.
teams don't have that bandwidth. Like
Well,
the prices are getting absurd.
most teams in the world just can't pay the English, like the Premier League prices.
Exactly.
I mean, we all see it. We don't have to go through the players and the prices, but like it's just ridiculous. Like I saw something today. So Tottenham are apparently they're going after Jean-Paul Van Heck next, which I like him as a signing. It also just essentially means that Vuskovic is going on loan again, which is a little frustrating. But the Athletic is like 70 mil priced. I mean, Spurs I think went offered like 40, and they want 50. It's going to get done for 50. But like the Athletic's like, yeah, he's worth 70. What are you talking about? Jean-Paul Van Heck
Yeah.
is not worth Hecke is not worth
He's worth
70 mil.
he's worth 50.
That's
50
my
is the
point.
fair market price for
That's
him.
my point. Like, I'm not paying 70 mil for a player out of contract next season.
And
What are you talking about? Like,
and it's just so funny too, because they made up the English did. They made up this quote unquote English tax.
I
You
know,
see it all
I
the
know.
time where you're like an extra 15 mil English tax, and you're like, what does that mean? Just because he played in the Premier League, it's an extra 15 mil? Like,
Well,
that's
no,
dumb.
there's like the Premier League tax, like you said, and then there's the English tax, which is just for English players, which I get in England because you're trying to keep like the best talent in the country and all that, and obviously like registration rules, like having an English
Yeah.
player makes sense, but it is like so stupid because it's like I don't know, the market's over about we could talk about it for hours. I mean, everyone's aware of that, but I also think like I don't want to say there's going to be a recession, but at some point, like you said, like teams are just going to sign players for free. And also, you see a team like Bournemouth who are just like going back to kind of like the old school, like Moneyball model, just like we're just going to pick up players on good deals. And then we're just
Flip
going
them.
to, yeah, and we're just going to charge you like, Bournemouth are very happy to stay in the Prem and are just very happy to like push for Europe every year. You know, of course, I'm sure their long term 10-year plan is like be a contender in the Prem. But if you told them like over the next 10 years, you guys are going to be consistent in the Prem, stay in the top, top half of the table, typically pushing for a Europe spot, and also, but you have to like flip your players every year, they would sign up for that a million times. That, you know what I mean? That's just like their club.
Those teams have like a short list of 8 guys for each position, where they can be like, okay, we got our number 1 option. He left after a year. Number 2 is happy where he is. Let's just go number 3, and then boom. Next year after that, 50 mil. Fourth
Well,
option. Boom.
they also they actually like give their players like time to develop and stuff.
Yeah.
Where and there's granted they have the like luxury, like if Bournemouth next year finished 13th, no one is going to go and be like, you have to fire the manager, right? You're going to be like, oh, okay, it's Bournemouth, right? And their fans are like, oh, we
Yeah.
had a decent year and like whatever, and then they can let players develop. They can also like there's no pressure to play certain players, where other teams, at Arsenal, if you guys are in third all year, there's going to be pressure on the fans like, why are we in third?
Yeah.
And that now your manager only wants to play the players he wants to play. Now, if you do have a youngster, he's not going to play. That's an issue I feel like Spurs have had, where they have all these youngsters and they're kind of forced to play them. but a lot of the managers like, I don't want, like, I want to play, like, Ange was always asking, he's like, I really want to play an experienced player. Like, I'm in the trenches right now, and you have me starting 17-year-olds out of position, you know? So I kind of get it, but let's move on from there. You had to hear, I didn't see this. Saliba is potentially out for France. Oh, actually, I did see this. Go on.
Yeah, so he's been dealing with a back injury for the past few weeks. And I saw that because of this injury, like he's played through it and everything, but they're saying that he may actually miss the World Cup because of it.
Well, he's not getting the surgery, right? He's doing the
Yeah,
Umtiti, where he
yeah.
risks. I'd be worried about that.
Personally, or what? Like me personally worried or France worried?
No, like as an Arsenal fan, because for
Oh,
Barca,
no.
Umtiti came off like one of the best years of his career. Decided not to get the surgery so he could play the World
But
Cup.
didn't
Won
you
the World.
guys sign him off the best year of his career? Like after the World Cup?
No, we signed him before that World Cup. He was a Barca player. He had one of the best years of his career playing. Didn't get the surgery. Played the World Cup and was forever like injury riddled the rest of his career because he never got
My
it.
guess, luckily for this version of the French team, I feel like they have enough players at that center back position where he won't have to play every single game. I have a feeling
Okay.
they may use
Yeah.
him in hey, quarterfinals against Portugal, you're playing. But like group stage against Algeria or whoever, like you're not playing this game. We have
Yeah.
Kanate, Upamecano, Jules Koundé could play there if needed. Like they have enough backup where they could basically use him as like the secret weapon off the bench. Now, I don't know if they will or not, but like I I personally wouldn't expect to see him till minimum third league or third group stage game.
Okay.
I feel like Deschamps will take care of like him as a player, where it's just like.
Yeah.
I
Well, like
also
you said,
think
they
how
have
old
depth.
was Umtiti when he?
He was young because I mean we signed him. We
Okay.
signed him the season before, so like he played for us. I think 1 year. He had a great season for us. Our starting like right center back next to PK, and then he went to the World Cup hurt with this injury,
Okay.
and then he missed like 6 weeks in the start of the season, and then I think he missed another like 10 weeks, and he just never got fit, and he just like lost a step athletically. So that's what I'm saying. Like as an Arsenal fan, don't get me wrong. It's like, oh, you want him to play at the World Cup, but you're also like, I really don't want Saliba to come back and now be the guy that's at, the Eder Militao, where he's
So
hurt every other game.
do you want to hear the center backs for France when they won it?
Yeah,
And Umtiti like basically had a start.
yeah. He
It
was
was
24. He was 24 when he did that.
Yeah, Umtiti, Raphael Varane,
Ron.
Braun, Cresnel Kimpembe, and
Kimpembe.
and I think that's it. I think it was literally those three.
No, there had to
Because
be
like
more. There had to
you
be
have
more.
well they have he who shall not be named, Benjamin Mendy.
Well, they had Pavard though, no, who was a center back and became a fullback.
Let's see.
He became like a right back.
Okay, yeah. I mean, in this final, he played as right back.
Right,
So
because that's the World
why,
Cup. He hit that ridiculous shot, if you remember that.
Yeah.
He hit
yeah.
like the.
I mean, they had Adele Remy,
yeah.
but like once again, like it's not like he's towards the end of his career. I think after this World Cup, he literally played Fenerbahce, Boa Vista, and then Troyes.
Rami, yeah.
Yeah. Like
I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm just also saying I'd be worried as an Arsenal fan. He should play in the World Cup, but
yeah. I mean, I think he'll be fine. Like I said, like when you look at the team, they have Upamecano, Koundé can play there, Kanate can play there. They have Lacroix. Like
Lacroix?
they have 4 guys basically that could fill in, or 3 guys that could fill in with him for him next to Upamecano. And you feel kind of like they could do a job in the group stage games against Senegal, Iraq, and Norway.
Yeah, they should be able to take care of business. I mean,
yeah. I think once you get to those group stage games, then you're like, all right, like, are you good to go or not? And that could be where it like gets tricky. But
yeah, well, we'll see what ends up happening there. Funny enough, Lacroix, I see a lot of teams are interested in signing him. He's going to ruin a team.
Yeah, I think he's good, but I don't think he's like great. Like once he's like a John Paul Van Heck. Where it's like he's a good player. And a Kanate really too. If you think of Kanate's the Leo Messi's of that group.
Yes.
where
Exactly.
he's, or the Virgil van Dijks, if we want to keep it in the
Yeah.
defender line, but like he's the best of like those players where you're like, I want him on my team, but like I don't love that he's on my team.
Exactly.
Like he has a do every few games.
Exactly. You need a Van Dyke next to him.
I would say the bottom of that list is probably who's that guy that plays, the French dude that plays for Chelsea, the center back.
Wesley Fofana.
Yes. He's the
Yeah,
bottom
well,
of
he's
that group.
just so injury prone. Oh my god, Tosin Adarabioyo or whatever too. Kind of feel like he's in that.
No. He's the Leo Messi's of the next group.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. All right, cool. So that was the news. Obviously, not too much going on. Everyone's prepping for World Cup, which is exciting. And with us prepping for World Cup, it's time for what I think might be our final Can I Get a Lineup for the Argentinian national team. We're going to keep this one simple. I think there's a couple of names that go into this team right away, Pucc. I was going to line them up in a 4-3-3.
Perfect.
Okay. I think the names that go in easily, Emi Martinez is their starting goalkeeper. Leo Messi up at the right wing. Give me 1 second to take a look. Julian Alvarez, do we put him off the left to accommodate for Lautaro Martinez, or do we put him in the middle?
I think you have to put him off the left.
I agree.
Lautaro deserves the spot as a starter.
Yep. The other thing with Martinez or with this team is Messi's not actually playing off the right. So it's going to be like kind of a two-striker system, essentially.
Yeah.
Center backs, Cuti Romero is going to be in one of the spots, I presume, because their center backs are a little weak. Not weak, but this is not the strength of their team, in my opinion.
I feel like it never is, though.
Well, yes and no. I feel like at the last World Cup, they actually had a pretty solid, Otamendi was a little bit younger. So I feel like they were very solid there where I felt comfortable, but I do agree with you. I mean, in general, not great. Who is going to partner with him? Are you going Otamendi? Are you going Lisandro Martinez? Are you going Facundo Medina? Are you going Leonardo Balerdi?
I think it will be Lisandro.
Okay.
My only issue is
short.
Lisandro, well, not only is he short, but he also didn't play the last game against Zambia.
Okay.
Or although that's March. I thought that was this past week.
No,
Never mind. It's going to be Lisandro. He's super short, though. The butcher in Amsterdam.
I hate
More
him.
like the troll of Amsterdam.
So annoying.
But yeah, I think he'll probably start next.
Okay. Left back. So here are our fullback options. On the left, again, is Facundo Medina, Nicolas Tagliafico. So Valentin Barco here, they have him listed as like a defensive mid. I know he's played that all year for Strasbourg, but he did come up as a left back. So I will keep him in consideration. You also have Nico Gonzalez, the Atletico Madrid player, who is listed on FotMob and as a left mid, attacking mid, right mid, left wing, left back, and left wing back.
Just a player.
He played left back against Barca in one of the games, and I promise you, I've never seen someone look so upset in their life. He would get dribbled by Lamine, or Lamine would do something to him, and he literally would look at Simeone, and you would just see him dude, get me out of this position. It's he's trying, but you could see he was I'm not supposed to be here. It's like putting a goalkeeper at left wing. It's just get me the fuck out of here. I'm not supposed to be here. Who do we think here for our left back position?
Now, I know you said Barco. It just feels like that the balance of the team would be off.
Yeah.
Just be way too attacking. I think their defense, they want to keep defenders, and they're going to try and keep, I think, as much of that back line from last World Cup together. So I think I'm going to have to go Tagliafico.
I don't hate that. I think you could see Facundo Medina get a shout.
Yeah. That's the other one that I was thinking. It's between those two.
He is a primary center back. So it's one of those things are they going to do kind of an Arsenal and play four kind of center backs essentially across the back line? But I agree. I think Tagliafico could do well, especially because you're not going to have a lot of width off the left because we said you're playing with essentially two strikers. So you need to get your width from somewhere. I think Tagliafico could provide that. I don't more so than Medina can. And I'll be brutally honest. I have never seen. I don't know. Those were the left back options. Sorry, I thought there was someone else. At right back, the only right back who's fit is Molina, and I think he's the best option. So he is gonna hit a bomboclat at some point. This dude is just hitting piss missiles for fun. But this will also make it so again, another player who's very, very solid. Someone I never heard of, and then all of a sudden was at last World Cup, played well with Atletico over the past couple years. Quietly one of the best right backs in world football. Not top 5, but like maybe a top 10 to 15 player easily in my book. All right, we have the midfield now. Again, another spot where it gets interesting. So their midfielders are Valentin Barco, Ezequiel Palacios, Alexis McAllister, Leandro Paredes, Rodrigo de Paul. They have Lo Celso, who's like an attacking mid, Thiago Almada.
Paredes.
Who's that?
Leandro Paredes.
Yeah. Nico Paz, Enzo Fernandez, and then that's kind of all they got there. I mean, again, go on.
Once again, I feel like the midfield picks themselves a little bit just because of the last World Cup.
Yeah, Enzo Fernandez has a spot in there.
Yep, and so does DePaul. They're not going to put Messi's bodyguard on the bench. They're not putting that dude on the bench.
Funny enough, I think he does rotate in. I was going to say one player that I think they're going to put in no matter what is McAllister. I don't think he had a good year.
That was my third one.
Yeah, I don't think he's had a good year. We're going to talk about this in a little bit when we do our World Cup predictions. This Argentina team, man, I think they're still a good team. They're around a 16 team for me.
So as we've gone through these like create a lineups,
yeah,
I've gotten more and more excited about the U.S. chances because I feel like we actually aren't a bad team compared to some of these other teams. As we discussed in nauseum a few weeks back, they just don't have like that star player, but they have guys that could become that in the World Cup. And B, it just feels like every team is so even with each other in terms of like, hey, this is like the Dutch team doesn't have an attack. Hey, the English team, they don't really have a defense. Like this Argentina team is good, but not all the teams are good, but not great. And I think it will make playing wise for a good tournament where it's like there's no head and shoulders team above. Like last World Cup, we sat there and everybody 2022 was like France and Argentina are two of the best teams in this tournament. Like head and shoulders above everybody else. Like there were some iffy moments, but before the tournament, everybody was like those two and maybe a Portugal team. Because Ronnie was still close to his prime. But it felt like maybe even in England too then. But it just feels like I could see this going at like I could see Brazil winning. I could see England winning. Like I could just see a lot of different teams winning it because every team has a star aspect to them, but they don't have like they're also missing something. There isn't like a complete team.
Well, that's what makes it fun as well, right? As we're just talking about it, like that's what makes the World Cup, you know?
Yeah.
Is the fact that they're really like outside of France, who you could say are strong everywhere. There's no real super teams. Like teams have really talented players, but one way or another, it's like, you know, for instance, for a while, Spain, like I guess we did have a number 9 with like Torres and Villa, but it feels like right now, like we can't develop a number 9. You know, like we just can't put one in there. The same way that like, you know, Argentina for years, it's like, why is your goalie always like kind of like a weird position for you?
Sergio Romero.
And obviously, Emi Martinez has made a name for himself. But before the last World Cup, if someone said Emi Martinez to you, or maybe before the Copa America before that, you'd be like, okay. You know, like you weren't inspired by it.
No.
But all right, I think we have our World Cup squad here for Argentina. And again, I think DePaul is somebody that'll rotate in and out of the team. I think you could see the problem is this midfield is like kind of so small without him. You have like Valentin Barco is like 5'7". I think he's really talented. He's had a very good year for Strasbourg, but it's also like, are you going to put him, McAllister, and Enzo Fernandez when you have to play? I don't know who's in their group. I'm trying to think.
They have. Let me look.
I'll tell you right now. I got it.
They have Algeria, Austria, and Jordan.
It just feels like, I don't know, one of like some of these teams are going to have big players and like they may get bullied. I know they're obviously more talented and size doesn't matter, but
that's how they're going to play the Argentina team anyway. They're going to play bully ball against them.
Well, I don't know how they're going to. Their center back's 5'10", right? Their midfield are all like 5.
That's why maybe Otamendi does start for them.
He could. I don't watch enough Otamendi. I know he's still playing for Benfica, but here's the team for you. We have in net, Emi Martinez at left back. We have Nicolas Tagliafico, Lisandro Martinez, and Cristian Romero as the center back pair. Molina as the right back. A midfield 3 of Enzo Fernandez, Rodrigo de Paul, and Alexis McAllister. How do you think they play them? I don't think they play them as a flat 3. No one does.
Now, I think Enzo actually, I think de Paul maybe. Oh, dude, that's actually tough.
Do you see what I'm
Because they're
saying?
all basically the same player. They're all
They're all
basically eights.
they're
Like,
all like eights. Like McAllister, when he came into this Argentina team and came into Brighton, was like a 10, but he's become a
yeah,
more like a deeper lying player. DePaul is kind of like a box to box runner, and then you have Enzo, who again at the last World Cup was playing as their 6, like a very like deep lying playmaker type of 6, right? Like carry the ball and distribute. But now Enzo plays as like a 10 sometimes for Chelsea. I think they're
maybe a
gonna
Nico Gonzalez does start instead of Rodrigo, although he doesn't really play that either.
no, please don't
Center
put him in a
mid.
position he doesn't like. He's gonna be very, very upset.
I mean, does Paredes maybe get the start? Like,
That's my point. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think like a guy like Paredes might start, or maybe you do play Barco in like that Enzo Fernandez role from the last World Cup, and you kind of let him just like distribute. The only problem is you don't have like a destroyer. He's actually got decent defensive
I
metrics.
don't know. My guess is they're probably just going to put Enzo in the deeper role
That's what
and
I
then
think.
just have DePaul and McAllister basically play 2 8s.
That's what I think. And I mean, honestly, this lineup I think ends up becoming a little bit of a like 4 diamond 2. Where
Yeah.
Messi's playing in the 10, and then you have like maybe DePaul off one side, box to box. You have whether it's McAllister or Enzo playing a little bit deeper.
I could also see, because all three of them, the midfielders are basically the same player, I could see them rotating throughout.
100%.
Where
The
it's
only
like
thing is,
Fernandez
yeah,
starts there, but by minute 30, it's like DePaul's playing there.
yeah. I mean, and the thing is too, though, is it's funny because they're all kind of different profiles too. Like DePaul might play as a defensive midfielder, but he's not like a deep lying playmaker. He's
No.
really like a box to box, and he's also not like a destroyer per se, right? Like he's not like a Paulinho where you're like, oh, you just put him back there and he wins the ball, or like a Gavi who's like, I'm gonna run. He's actually probably Gavi's probably the best representation of him in the sense. Maybe not as he might not be as technical, but like the running.
Mhm. Yeah.
McAllister again, I think he's going to end up finding himself higher up the pitch anyway, because that's kind of what's natural to him. And then I think Enzo will sit a little bit deeper, just out of he's played the role, he's done it for Argentina, and again, when necessary, he'll go up. But it'll be. I mean, the funny part too is Lisandro Martinez at Ajax played a lot of defensive mid.
Yeah.
He played. I mean, he hasn't done it in a while. You're not going to put him in the position, but it is something to see. Like, I wonder if he steps up and it kind of becomes a back through. I don't know. We're getting way too into it. But that's our Argentina squad. I think next episode, if we continue doing this, we might do Curacao or Cabo Verde. You know what's funny? A team I would want to do Ecuador and maybe Turkey. I think those could be fun.
We could do this too next episode.
Yeah, we'll start doing
we won't have a ton to talk about anyway.
100%. We're going to be still. Well, the World Cup starting in 2 weeks, June 13th.
Starting next week.
That's what. Well, that's what I meant. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's next week. Wow. That was. Can I get a lineup? Let's get in then. It's been long awaited. I know there's a lot of people busting down my door for this segment in particular. We need to do a Champions League recap.
Okay.
Now you're all good. Okay.
I've been all
PSG
good.
beat Arsenal in penalties to win back-to-back Champions Leagues. Remarkable for him. The funny part is hate watch completed, one of the great hate watches of my life. But at the same time, now it's like, all right, PSG cannot win a third. Like I can't get them going like, 3. Like
Who's going to stop them?
Barca. We're stopping them next year.
Jeez, you guys got to stop Atletico Madrid and Inter Milan first.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Just saying.
All right, you could start your talking shit right now. That's fine. Let's get into the recap. Pucc, before I get into anything, I'm just going to let you talk about the game and your thoughts and feelings.
I think it's fine. It's a shitty way to lose on like a penalty kick shootout last. But at the end of the day, I think they were. I think everybody kind of agreed, even at the start of the tournament, they're the best team in Europe. And it's tough to kind of beat that. I still don't appreciate how some of these teams go about their Champions League runs, where it's like you don't see like a La Liga or like a Premier League team canceling weekend games, like the league canceling the weekend games, so that these guys can play, like be fully fit for a Champions League. But hats off to them. They were the best team. They were the better team. I will say the only pushback I have on the game and Arsenal's like strategy coming from other people is they're like, well, you're 1-0 up 6 minutes in. Why did you sit back for the remaining 84? It's like, so you want Arsenal to pop out against the best attacking team that we've seen since like MSN and like and like just be like, all right, we're gonna be on the front foot like for the next 80 minutes, even though we're 1-0 up. It's like, why would we do that? Like you saw what happened. Like if you close your eyes and you're like, oh, one team won on a penalty kick shootout and their only goal in regular time was a penalty kick, you're like, classic Arsenal did it again. But it was
Mhm.
PSG. He did such a good job defensively. Gabriel was immense. Tip my cap to him. Missed the pen, but you want to know what? Everybody misses a pen every now and again. You got a Marquinhos class act for going up to him
Yep.
afterwards. Because a lot of people forget that Marquinhos, that happened to him at the 2022 World Cup, where he hit the post and they lost to
Mm.
Croatia, I think in like the round of 16 or the quarters. So it's like, I think Enrique, that's why I said earlier, if like earlier in the year, if Arteta didn't win the Prem and gun to my head, I have to pick a manager, I want Luis Enrique. I think he's behind Pep as the best manager around today, and you saw why.
Yeah.
Like he he he's a great manager. Yeah, I mean that's really my thoughts. I thought we played a good game. Like honestly, like going toe to toe with that PSG team, people are starting to put them because they want a sextuple in like Barcelona. And like, first of all, they're not Barcelona level. They're probably better than that Bayern team that won the
Yes. I
sextuple.
agree with that.
But they're not like I think we discussed it on one of our first episodes. The gap with the sextuple is so immense that like I don't know if we'll ever see a team like that Barca team again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought we played a good game. I think there were a few moments where I'm like, ah, we could have had this or that go our way
Of
in
course.
terms of like counterattack chances. Like Martinelli overplayed two balls. Gyökeres in the 119th minute loaded up that ball. If it didn't get blocked, I think it was going in the back of the net. Um, and then what was the last point I wanted to say on it? Just that, yeah, I mean, it happens. Like you lose games. That's soccer. You gotta
Mm.
be able to kind of take yourself out of it. Luckily for me, I wasn't alone on my couch. So I was able to spend time with family the rest of the day, and really it just shows you like it's just a game at the end of the day.
Okay. You seem at peace. I'm not gonna
Well,
rile you up.
I said it before the game too, that like this was the cherry on the cake. Like
Mm.
for the past couple seasons, nobody's talked about Champions League to me in terms of trying to like rage bait me. It's always been second place, second place, second place.
Mm.
We got the first place. We got the real trophy that we were after all year. And like winning a Champions League when you've never won it would have been awesome. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't our year. We ran into a really good team.
Okay. I missed most of regulation time. I was able to catch a decent amount on my phone and then also over the radio. So it did sound like most of the game, and I think this is kind of confirmed. Like PSG had you in your own half, which we kind of spoke about, right? We spoke about the fact like it's going to be a really hard game, and I would say like Arsenal did handle the pressure well. Obviously only conceding one off a penalty, right? Like
Yeah,
that
and I think PSG didn't get a shot inside our 18 until minute 57. So it's like for 57 minutes, their only shots were coming from outside the box. And like
yeah,
awesome. Great.
not good though that Odegaard had to get hooked at halftime.
He didn't get hooked at halftime.
When did he get hooked?
Like 60 something.
Okay, I thought he was hooked at halftime. Anyway,
No.
captain came off. Also,
That's fake news. That's
Dembele
fake
cannot
news.
win the Ballon d'Or, man. He played.
He can.
This dude won like
He
played.
physically can.
Didn't he also play like 65 minutes?
Here, since you're throwing out fake news, let me actually put some of these numbers in. So Odegaard came out in 67. Basically after we gave up the pen, we made 4 substitutions. He was one of them. Dembele came off hurt in the 96th minute.
What? Okay.
See,
Once again,
this is the fake news media
Yeah.
rage. This is the rage news. This is how they get you people.
Anyway,
So you saw extra time?
I listened to most of extra time. I caught the end of extra time. I literally got home in time to actually watch the penalties, but I was listening to the entire
Okay.
game, which not a great
Did
experience, but decent.
Yeah. Not a good game to listen to.
It was just like, oh, in
Did
PSG,
you watch
yeah.
highlights or no?
I didn't sit and watch like extended highlights, but I kind of
'cause
saw
I was gonna
the
ask you. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about the Madueke penalty
saw that.
shout.
I honestly, I mean, and call me biased, I did not think it was a pen. I thought it was soft. I think it was one of those things that like in a Champions League final game, I don't want to see that as a pen. And I can understand an Arsenal fan going, well, and like maybe bringing up a video of another one and being like, well, this was a penalty, but it just feels very much, in my opinion, it's like that's the type of thing that I always bring up. Is like when you're watching a football game and the ref doesn't throw like a pass interference on one, but it's like just two guys like contesting it, and you're like, thank God he didn't throw that. I know by the letter of the law, maybe you can make an argument, but it's like, thank God you didn't throw that flag. Like that is not, you know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see. That for me is like, that's like the level of physicality. Like that's the line. You know what I mean? Like
So
you should fight, and then that's it.
yeah, my POV was when they showed it live, since the play was still like PSG went on a counter, Arsenal going it. So like they showed like a 5-second clip of it, and it's like clear as day a pen. When you watch the review of different angles, it's not a pen at all.
Okay, I see
Like
what you're saying.
I think Madueke, like on the angle that they showed us live, which is probably, I mean, there were also a ton of delusional Arsenal fans. Listen, I'm the first Arsenal fan to admit, not 85% of online or 95% of online Arsenal fans, I hate them. They're delusional.
Okay.
Like they're the worst fans ever. They're like, how can this, like, I could see where you'd be like, oh, all these fans are saying it. From my perspective, trying to be unbiased as possible, first, like on the glance that they showed us, they only showed us one angle on TV, and they didn't show the Madueke angle, like where you could see his arm. They only showed you from like basically Pacho's back and like the legs getting tangled up, and you're like, dude, how is that not a pen? Like even like the people I was with, like my family, they were like, oh, that's a pen. Like you guys got robbed a little bit there. And you're like, dude, how is that not a pen? But when you get back and you look at the other angle or other angles, you can not only see like Madueke kind of hits Pacho's leg to begin with, and then he also is underneath, like he's hooking Pacho's arm, pushing him into him. So you're like, all right, on that angle, like that's not a pen. Like he's clearly
that's kind of my thing is like you look it back and you're like, that's two guys fighting for the ball, and at that point, like I mean, you're a defender. It's like if you can't do that, I don't know what you can do.
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
Sense, like there needs to be a level of physicality. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, this PSG team is just stacked. Like it's just stacked top to bottom. When it came to the penalties, as a Spurs fan and just a soccer fan, having it be Eze and Gabriel to miss was like so sweet. The one thing I will say, and this just drives me insane, like why do we do these run-ups? Like Eze did it and Gabriel did it, where they didn't have the most like crazy run-up I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But they do like the chop feet. I'm like, dude, it's a 12-yard shot. Just, you know what I mean? Like if you want to have like a little hop step in it, no problem. But it's like, what is with all this like extra bullshit we're doing? I feel like it puts you off.
Yeah. My also David Raya, where he dove right every single time, and then the last one for some no name, I'm looking at my brother Jimmy, who's an Arsenal fan too, and I'm like, dude, who the hell is this guy? Like he's gonna miss. Like the pressure light's too bright, and then he slots it in the area where Raya's been going. I'm like, dude, if you want to talk about David Raya, like the next step for him to get like to an elite status as a goalkeeper, get better on pens, man. He is. I've watched him with pens 3 years in a row. He's one of those keepers where I could just be like, all right, scores 1-1 now. Like I know he's not saving it. Like it's just
you need a penalty goalkeeper. You needed to put Kepa in.
I need Ethan Cohen.
I have saved 2 penalties in my life.
Yeah,
but I'm not a goalie.
But yeah, no, the Eze one killed me more than the Gabriel one, where it's like Gabriel, he did like a little chop or whatever, but like he's still like kind of ran up. Eze did like a little chop, pause, a little chop again, and then he missed. And it's like, dude, just hit the ball. Like
the worst part is if you score it, no one's gonna be like, aura. It's not like missing a Panenka, where if you hit the Panenka, everyone's like, oh, it's like you do all that, and it's just like, all right, Eze scored his pen, who's up? You know, like what's next?
Exactly.
It's like there's nothing cool about it, you know. And I know like they would probably say, oh, we're trying to get the keeper to move, and I understand that, but it's like you're focused on the wrong thing. Something I learned as a kid, and it's probably one of the best things I've ever heard about penalties. Like, at least in my eyes, you just don't worry about the keeper. Like, you can't worry about the keeper. You need to just focus. I always shoot my penalties bottom right, right?
Good
like,
to know.
no. I'm saying like if that's what you do, I don't have a side. Like, if you choose to shoot a certain way, it's like, all right, I always go bottom right. I know what I'm doing. Some people say like don't even look at the keeper. Just like
Wait, so you're a bottom right, so you're Lindsey Graham.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's ball knowledge. I was at practice yesterday and somebody said it was something so obvious. It was like when someone's like, say a forgotten footballer, and then someone says, I don't know, give me an obvious name. Someone goes, yeah. And the kid was like, that's ball knowledge. And I was like, oh my God. It was like a 15-year-old, so whatever, but it was like that. So now it's like how you were saying that's baseball. Now that's ball knowledge. He said it was so funny. He said it like so seriously too. Someone was, I think, I can't remember. Whatever. Bad podcasting. Anyway, let's move on from the game then. I'm not going to give Pucc more shit. We gave him a lot of shit. I'm going to let him relax. And also, I've lost the energy
I'm
for
at
the
peace.
shit. Wow. Sound like a broken
I'm
man.
at peace. No. I won the Premier League. How can I be broken?
I will say, doing a parade like the day after, I know they kind of had to because the guys had to get to their national teams.
Yeah.
Got to give them 24 hours.
I think that was the reason why, was because of the World Cup.
Alrighty, Pucc. Let's talk real quick before we move over to our World Cup prediction. Who was your player of the match?
Probably has to be a PSG player. I would say the thing was, it was such kind of a dead match
That's the
because like
problem.
PSG did nothing offensively, and you can't really name a defender. I think, who do they get to? Vitinha? I would
Yeah,
probably say either Vitinha or Jean Neves.
I personally like. Again, I didn't watch the game, so it's a little tricky. But like listening to the game, and also just looking at stats, like João Neves for me was pretty impressive. He covered a shit ton of ground.
Yeah.
And he's just like a perfect like does it all center mid. If you want to give it to Dembele for the goal, like that's bad. I don't know. It's one of those things. I felt like they gave it to Vitinha just because like the name. But
Yeah.
also, like, I don't know. I'm more of a João Neves guy. Maybe that's just my bias.
Jean
Yeah.
Neves.
No one played particularly, like, incredible. I mean, Fatmob
No.
gave it to David Raya. Did he have, like, a very good game other than the penalties? Get 3 saves.
Yeah. I mean, but once again, it's like, if Arsenal won, you're giving it to Gabriel because he played very well. Like throughout the 180, like he was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, he had the most defensive contributions.
Yeah, like he was going crazy on it. Pause.
What?
But I would give it to him if it was Arsenal. But it's not like Saka. The thing that sucked was literally it killed us that we scored so early. Because then it's like you have Mascara playing right back, so Saka had to come back and basically double up Kvaratskhelia the entire game, so he can't be forward. You then have Havertz, who's basically playing as like a 10, because we are everybody's so far back. So anytime we clear the ball, it just go to like Pacho or Marquinhos.
Right.
Like it's like we had no counterattack ability. And then when our quote unquote counterattack guy Gabriel Martinelli came on, he misplaced like 4 counterattack passes. Like you need to see some of these passes, Ethan. There was one point, and I can point to it. It's like the 81st minute, I want to say 82nd, and we have a 3-on-2. It's him, Gyökeres, and maybe Madueke. Maybe.
Okay.
It could have also just been Havertz. I forget who. But basically, it's like a 3-on-2, and it's like we're running up the field, and it's like, oh my God, like I could see like Madueke getting ahead of that starting to get ahead of that last defender. Gyökeres is screaming for the ball. He's about to get on the edge of the 18, like nobody's on him. And you're like, come on. This guy played a 40-yard pass back to Stepanov. Like he just on the ground, just played it like 30 yards right to the goalkeeper. Gyökeres immediately puts his hands in the air like, what the hell are you doing? Like Madueke like immediately like slumps over running back to like get back in defensive position. You're just like, and Martinelli, they do a close-up shot of him and he's just smiling going like, like a thumbs up, like my bad.
Like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I was like, dude, you cannot be smiling, giving a thumbs up, right? Like that was our chance to put this game away. Like, what are you doing?
That's hilarious. I kind of love that.
I mean, please God, get him off my team. I'm not a fan.
All right. Like I said, I mean, I would have given it to probably Jao Neves.
Yeah.
Or it looked like Hakimi had a good game too. I'm looking at FOMO. Also, Kvaratskhelia, I saw some of it. He was getting doubled up, and he got a little quiet. There's only one player in world football that you could double up, and it don't matter, and that's Lamine Yamal.
Messi. Oh.
Well, him too. But that being said, another Champions League final down. Luis Enrique, 3 Champions Leagues, 2 trebles. You said it earlier in the show. I mean, the guy right now sits just below Pep for me right now in active managers, but like he's making a conversation for top 10 all time.
Yeah.
If he continues winning, like and he has to win the big ones, right? Like no one's going to give a fuck about league. But if he wins like another UCL, or if he goes and does go back to like a Spain international job and wins a Euro or something, like uncomfortable conversations are going to start happening in the top 5 because all this guy does is go places and win. He took that Spain team, if you remember, a couple of years ago in the Euros, a very young and like Spain team. He took him to the finals. Sorry, semifinal against Italy. So he knows what he's doing. But as we're talking international footy, let's get into our World Cup prediction. We have a whole bunch of awards we're already going to give out. I will be stronger. They will call me freedom, just like a waving flag.
Waving flag.
I'm going to let you sing. You're good. I think you're...
Flag. Waving
Whoa.
flag. Oh.
You know what I'm hating right now? I know why everyone's coming out with World Cup songs. I don't know what the official World Cup song is anymore.
It's the Jelly Roll one.
Is it or is it not? Because that came out, and then like there's another World Cup song that came out. Like I think Future came out with a World Cup song.
Huh. I think Speed came out with one too.
He did, dude. Speed is like, it is so funny. Just talking about Speed. I know we don't really talk about streamers. We don't. Not familiar. So me and one of our fraternity brothers, who was one of my housemates, we used to love watching like old soccer YouTube. This was obviously in like 2020, 2021. So Speed wasn't a thing yet. We used to watch Flight Reacts, the basketball streamer. And verbatim, we had a conversation where like, you know, soccer really needs one of these guys that's like kind of an idiot that doesn't know anything, but just like reacts and is funny. And like a year later, this guy I Show Speed showed up. And I remember being like, I would never be Speed. He, first off, athletic freak. The dude's just doing backflips on anything.
Anything. He's doing backflips on anything?
Sorry. Fast as shit. I don't know if you've seen this. Like, he's a fucking runner, and he's jumping over cars. That does not why he's famous. But, like, I cannot believe that me and him were like, we really need this in soccer. Like, soccer will react well to this. And then all of a sudden, like, he blew up, and I was like, well, so that's why we started a podcast. But he came out with the World Cup song. All this soccer stuff started with him because somebody on one of his streams, where I think he was playing Fortnite, gave him a $1 donation and asked him, like, who's your favorite soccer player? He was like, Cristiano Ronaldo, Sui. That's how all this started.
Yeah.
All of this. Whatever. Why did I type in future World Cup?
And now, getting into our World Cup predictor.
Let's get back to our World Cup preview. I had a little bit of a brain fart there. We're going to start off here with our predictions, and then we have some awards, some predicting awards that we're going to give out. Let's get into the predictions first. We're going to just go through the groups. We're not going to go game by game. That's insane.
Yeah.
We're going to do this as a pod. And we will be coming out with a World Cup bracket challenge. You see that on socials. We may be doing a special reward for whoever wins, where they maybe get to join us on the show. Whether that's long term, whether that's short term, that's to be decided, depending if we like them. Pierce, this is your chance to join the show. All right, let's get into it. We're going to start with Group A. Group A is South Korea, Mexico, Czech Republic, and South Africa. Relatively weak group overall. For me, I think South Korea tops this group. I don't
really.
Who do you think tops the group?
Mexico. All of their games are at home.
I don't think that's going to matter.
They're acclimatized. If I know anything about the World Cup based on the book that I'm close to finishing, playing in Mexico is very tough climate-wise. It's basically playing like in Denver.
Yeah.
But like I think higher up. I think Mexico.
Yeah, but are they that good?
Higher up. No, but it's a home. They're playing the group stages at home.
I know, but like, here's the thing: against Czech Republic and against South Africa, I think they get good results. South Korea feels like the type of team that they do not care, and I say that I don't.
So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna agree with 3 and 4 here, where Czech Republic, South Africa.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we can now just debate Mexico, South Korea, because
Yeah.
the other two, fine.
Dude, who are these guys? I'm looking at their team. I mean, I recognize Obed Vargas. I recognize Edison Alvarez. Obviously, Ochoa. Gilberto Mora is actually a decent player. But like the rest of this team,
But the South Korean team, they have Kim Min Sung.
yeah. And they have
Who
King and
else?
Lee,
Oh my
Lee,
God,
Kim Min Jae.
dude, that team blows.
Dude, they have Kim Min Jae. They have. I'm just scrolling through the team. I didn't even see this.
Look at their goalkeepers.
Yeah, that's kind of ass.
Yeah.
They have Jens Castro.
Nah, I think this is a bad hill to die on this soon.
I'm not dying on a hill. You
You're
gave a
dying on
take.
this
They also
hill.
have He Chain Huang.
My God, that guy's so bad.
My God.
He scored 3 goals as an attacker this year in the Prem.
Dude, where do these Mexican
2
dudes
goals
play?
last year. 2 goals last year. He had 1 good year. He's only had 2 years. Okay.
Pooch,
4
Pooch,
years.
here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do for you, Pooch. I'm going to give you this one. I'm going to ask later if there's a hill to die on that you're willing to.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. I'll give
we
you
can do that.
Mexico one.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what? Because I think Mexico beat Czech Republic and South Africa. And even if they draw or lose to South Korea, maybe South Korea is not going to lose to South Africa and whatever. I do agree Czech Republic's going to probably come in third. I also think.
Imagine all of those fans yelling Puto at Huang Hee Chang as he lines up and misses.
He doesn't speak the language. It doesn't matter.
Puto's every language, brother. Everybody knows that chant.
Let's move over to Group B then.
100,000 drunk Mexican fans at home cheering on their national team. They can't lose. They're going 9. They're getting 9 points. They cannot lose.
I cannot believe you're repping the U.S.'s rival like this.
I'm Landon Donovan.
That was the worst. Let's go to Group B here. They're calling this the Group of Life. I saw a TikTok interacted with it. The worst part, I commented. I said, I like this dash class is permanent. I'm making that our thing. Every time I see a TikTok, I'll just write class is permanent under it. But he's like, this might be the first ever Group of Life because any team can win the group. I mean, maybe not Qatar, but
I was going to say not Qatar.
For me, I had Switzerland, Canada, and then Bosnia.
Yep, exactly how I had it.
And then Qatar in fourth.
Yeah.
But this is probably a group that the third place team comes out of.
1,000%.
The same way I think Czech Republic probably come out of that Group A.
Yeah.
Remember, it's 8 teams coming out in third, which is a lot. Group C, which is arguably your group of death. Morocco, Brazil, Scotland, and Haiti. And I have them in that order. I have Morocco topping the group, Brazil coming in second, and Scotland in third. I think Brazil is going to drop points against Scotland and Morocco. I don't believe in Brazil like that hard. I think Morocco's a squad, and I think Scotland are going to get one result. Again, they're in third.
I think I might want to die on this hill, so I'll give it to you.
Okay. What, you're willing to die on that hill? On the next hill?
I'm willing to die on Brazil topping the group because I think Morocco is going to come into this tournament extremely overhyped and overrated.
Here's what I'm seeing with Brazil, and I'm going to say similar with Argentina. I think Brazil, the names, like the top names, you're like, oh shit. But I think a team like Morocco or a team like Scotland are going to be a team where maybe you don't always recognize, but they're just going to play team footy. Like this is a Brazil team that could totally implode too, by the way. Yeah.
I think Haiti is definitely in last. So
yeah, that's.
I low key kind of think Scotland may come in second.
Oh, so you think Morocco comes in third?
Yeah.
I think that's an overreaction, Pooch.
I think everybody are overreacting to Morocco. I don't think they're that good of a team.
Are you really? I think you're taking bias from AFCON.
I'm taking extreme bias from
I gave you Mexico to top Group A. I gave you Mexico to top Group A.
I'm telling you, we can go Morocco, Brazil, Scotland.
Okay.
I just want to show that I'm willing to die on Morocco Hill being third, on Morocco being third.
That's fine. Let's move over to Group D then. An interesting group here. You have USA, Paraguay, Australia, Turkey. I have it as Turkey topping the group, USA second, Paraguay third, Australia fourth. 3 and 4 for me are really tricky. You think USA top the group?
Yeah. I think USA, Turkey, I kind of want to put the Aussies just because I like their vibe. But I know it's not based on vibes. So I think it's Paraguay.
Yeah, I also think no one's gonna. I don't think the third place team comes out of this group.
I mean, it's difficult because I think the way that it's set up,
Like, it's
I think I saw something where somebody did the math on it, and basically, if you get 3 points and a -2 goal differential, you have like a 67% chance of getting through as the third place team. So I like
okay.
this group seems to me like everybody's even. They're not great. It's not like the group before where you're like Brazil, Morocco, kind of head and shoulders, but Scotland could have an upset against a Brazil or a Morocco. This group, everybody is kind of just like at that like 2-3 range in any other group. So I think it's so even. But I think, in my opinion, USA, Turkey, Paraguay, Australia.
USA, Turkey. Um, Here's the thing. I could see that. My fear with the US is like we know that this team is not deep, and we also like. What's funny is I could see the US beating Turkey and then dropping points to Australia.
Exactly. That's my point where it's like I feel like I could see the same thing with Turkey where they lose to the US or um beat the US but lose to Paraguay.
Mm. I'll give you this one. Whatever you want to do here.
All right, USA, Turkey, Paraguay, Australia.
All right, whatever you want. USA, Turkey. You said Paraguay, Australia.
Yeah.
All right, and before it was Mexico, Korea. The Telegraph made me pay to go further. So
Really?
yeah,
I'm on this John for free.
well, no. Once you click everything in, it's gonna make you pay.
Doubt it.
Group B, we had this. Okay, no problem. Well, or you need a free subscription, which I'm not doing.
I think I have that.
Give me 1 second to go back. Scotland, Haiti. Okay, Group E. You have Curacao, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Germany. I have Germany winning the group. I had Ecuador in second, Ivory Coast third, Curacao in fourth, with I think Ivory Coast coming out. Uh-oh. What do you think?
I think you're right, but I really like this Ivory Coast team. But
I
I think
agree.
you're right. I think you're right.
Okay. I think the Ivory Coast team is, again, like one like you said earlier, where they're a team that people will be like, oh, they're a sleeper. But I also think they're a little bit weak. You know what I mean? Like they're
They
like,
don't
for
have a
instance,
great defense, I think.
right.
Like
And this is where I'm going to say next with the next group is Group F. Japan. Everyone's like, oh, I love Japan. I don't think Japan's going to be that good. So that group is Japan, Netherlands, Tunisia, Sweden. I have Netherlands to win the group. I think they have a pretty good draw.
yeah.
I had Sweden to come in second, Japan third, Tunisia fourth.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Belgium to win it. I had Egypt second, Iran third, New Zealand fourth. So the order they had it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see Iran coming in second though. Honestly, I feel like the more I'm doing the World Cup sticker book.
47, 45 won't let that happen.
You know what? You're right about that. New Zealand, you're in third. No, but Belgium got a phenomenal draw here.
Yeah.
With these teams.
Yeah. Because they're a shit team themselves.
Exactly. Like this is like 4 teams that are kind of, well, New Zealand's very ass. Tim Payne though. Have you seen this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So stupid.
Need somebody to do that
H.
for the pod.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. You know, like if Mr. Beast was like, let me give $1 billion to a podcast to make them blow up, like that would be awesome.
Not even $1 billion. Well, I would take $1 billion.
Yeah, don't.
I was gonna say 1 billion followers, but I'll
much.
take $1 billion.
Group H, Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. Spain to top the group, Uruguay to come in second. I had Cabo Verde coming in third and Saudi fourth. That felt a little bit just out of maybe bias, but I also think Cabo Verde, I'm kind of liking the debut teams. They're just like out here. Maybe they get a result. They're going to play good footy. I don't know. I could be totally wrong about that.
See, I had Spain, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, Capo Verde.
There's just no way that happens, Pooch. Name one player on the Saudi team.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, okay. I don't think you know how this works. You're like my kids. Again, I'll be like, who won the Champions League this year? They're like, Argentina. I'm like, so no, club team. They're like, oh, Saudi Arabia. I'm like, okay, never mind. We're good here.
The Saudi team's decent, though.
You think they're going to beat Uruguay or Spain? That's how they would have to top it.
I think Uruguay's not good.
They're worse than Saudi.
Well, that's a loaded question. But soccer-wise, I think it could be even.
I think you're out of your damn mind on that one. I'm going to be honest.
Spain, Uruguay,
We don't
Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia.
we don't have to agree. You could tell me
Yeah,
I'm
we
wrong.
don't. We don't.
Okay. Group I, France. This is probably honestly the group of death. France, Norway, Senegal, Iraq. I have France to top the group, and then I think I was going to take Senegal over Norway.
Thank God we agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly I do like this Norway team. They're obviously talented, but I
They're
do
gonna
feel
get through as the third place team,
yes,
but
I do feel like this Senegal team is very together, like very
Yeah.
together.
yeah.
If they came in second, I would not be surprised. You know,
No.
like I
If
would
they came in
be
first, I wouldn't be surprised.
like exactly like Erling Haaland could go and have like 11 goals this tournament or something
Yeah.
crazy. You know,
Yeah.
especially he might score 6 against Iraq. He might do worse damage than Barack Obama.
There we go. There we go. This is why I love the World Cup too. We get political. This is awesome.
Group J, you have Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Listen, Messi got a fucking cakewalk here. Argentina to top
Yeah.
the group. I have Algeria, I have Austria, and Jordan. I'm willing.
Perfect.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
mean, Algeria and Austria are a little 50-50 for me, but like Kevin Danso can only do so much, you know.
Exactly.
And, Group K, Colombia, Portugal, Uzbekistan, DR Congo. Portugal to win the group. I have Colombia, Congo, and then Uzbekistan last.
Wrong. Completely wrong.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Portugal in first.
Yes.
DR Congo in second. They are my dark horse for this tournament. DR Congo in second. Uzbekistan third. Colombia fourth. This Colombia team is dog water. They didn't even call
Wow.
up their best player, John Duran. They have Richard
Ooh, I
Rios
forgot.
with this
Yeah, they're in
dumbass
fourth.
thing.
No,
Uzbekistan,
whoa.
Uzbekistan
No strip
has
school.
Shermadov and Kuzmanov as their
Kusanov.
striker center back pairing. They're gonna beat Colombia. They're gonna lose to Verde and lose to Portugal, but they will be third here. And DR Congo will come in second.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with that one. And then Group L, Croatia, England, Ghana, Panama. This is where I'm going to go bold. England.
Do it. Do it. Do it. I know what you want to say. Do it.
The problem is no Mohamed Kudus.
Do it. I know you want to just
No,
say
I'm
it.
going Croatia, Ghana, Panama.
Okay. That's probably correct. I don't trust the Croatian team, but they're coming in second.
Yeah, it just kind of feels. All right. Do we want to move on to the next round?
Well, we have to pick the 8 third place finishers.
Oh, I think the bracket I did it for me.
Oh,
You
Well-
tell me your 8, and then we'll figure it out from there.
that I want to have in there?
That you
Or that
think.
I think. So I think Czech Republic.
Okay.
I think Scotland.
Okay.
Think Paraguay.
Okay.
I think Ivory Coast. I think Japan. I think Norway. I think Austria. And I think Ghana. Pechia.
Alrighty, after some technical difficulties, we have decided that we will be doing the next round on our next episode. We have created a bracket challenge here on ESPN, so we'll be sharing that on the socials. Please join. Totally free to play. Totally free. No worries there. But this way everyone can pop on, join, have some fun, and we will figure out a way to get a cool prize to the winner. It's probably going to be me and Pucc because we're the ultimate ball knowers. But let's get into some of the awards we came up with here, Pucc. So this was your idea, so I'm going to let you give us the awards.
Yeah, so I think we have a few awards here that we should kind of predict. First up, the Golden Ball Award. So obviously the person who had the best tournament. I think for me personally, this one may end up, it's got to be somebody that wins or is close to winning.
Has to at least play in the final.
Yeah, it's tough without actually sitting down and doing my bracket yet and seeing where the chips fall. Who I think it would be.
We could save this too, by
But-
the way.
No. Off the top of my head, we need to predict this. We need
Yeah.
to predict this. This is important stuff. I'll say Yamal.
Okay. I like that. Someone who will get by the final,
Mhm.
maybe win it. I was going to go the same way. Lamine Yamal, and I feel like that's just a safe bet.
Mhm.
Golden Glove Award. So the best goalkeeper, usually the one that has the most clean sheets of the tournament. This is interesting because, again, it's someone you need that goes deep. It's usually on the team that makes it to the finals, one of them. I don't know. This is a tricky one to think about because you got to think about best defenses. On
Mm-hmm.
top of it, though, you got to think about, well, who's going to go deep? Because we've talked about the Netherlands defense. They're solid, but like they may be a team that makes it. I know you're going to take them deep, but like they may go quarterfinals, right? Whereas maybe France goes all the way and now it's Mike Maignan, right? Or it's, I don't know, Portugal and somehow it's going to Diego Costa. Who do you have? Who's your initial gut feeling here, Pucc?
Diogo Costa. I
Wow.
think when you like look at that Portuguese defense, it's really impressive. Their midfield really impressive. I think we mentioned it on their Can I Get a Lineup? They are
Yep.
such a defensive team this time around. Roberto Martinez is a pragmatic manager. Um, I think they're going to set up to not lose games, which in the World Cup is what you want, and I think it will be him. My dark horse for this award is actually Jordan Pickford,
I was
only
just about to
because,
say that. I was just
yeah.
about to say that.
Do you want to give your explanation why?
Yeah, I mean England under Tuchel, we project probably they may even go to like a back five at some points and play a
Yeah.
very defensive shape. But England throughout the qualifying did not concede a single goal, so this is probably going to be their calling card, and they may make it to a deep run, and he may just end up. I don't think it's because of his performances. I think it'll be because they luck into 3, 4, 5 clean sheets.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go Pickford. I think for me, and maybe this again more bias, I want to go with one of the Spain goalies because Spain's not a team that concedes a lot either because they keep such possession. And if we're going like Lamine Yamal going all the way, I could see it being David Raya or Joan Garcia. I'll go a different path here. We talk about their defense all the time. I'm going to go Mike Maignan. I think this is just a very solid French national team. And like if Saliba's fully fit, Pucc Macano, we talked about these guys. I think they can make it all the way to the final with a lot of clean sheets. But I like the Pickford idea. I mean, I think Diego Costa is in a very, very good spot as well. But it's always tough to predict. You have no idea what these teams are like. The Morocco goalie can do it, right? Like, what was his name? Yassine Boua. I don't know how to say his name. Yeah, something like that. The Golden Boy Award.
Bononu.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bononu. What do you think here, Golden Boy? So the best young player in the tournament. I think under 21, right?
I think so. I mean, I think we could just keep it to ours, which I think we should make under 21.
Yeah.
I think I want to say Desiree Doué.
Okay. That was the name that came to mind for me too.
Yeah, I just need to see if he's under 21 or not. I think he is.
I think he is. I think he's 19.
He's 21 on the dot.
Okay. Today's his
He's
birthday.
an old head. He's an old head.
Literally yesterday was his birthday, June 3rd.
Oh, happy birthday to Desiree
That's actually
Doué.
hilarious that June 3rd is his birthday and you said that. I don't know. Does that count? Do they have to be under 21 before the tournament starts? Let's do it that way. Let's make it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah. Let me think then.
Jan Diomande?
No, I think he's overrated.
Okay.
Let me pull. Do you have a name?
So my guy was going to be João Neves, but he turned 21 in September. So I'm looking at the same things right now. This might be, I don't know. One player I was thinking here was Luka Vuskovic. He's going to probably start for Croatia, and I see if they can go deep. I think he can have a really, really good tournament. It's tricky because like if Lamine Yamal doesn't win Best Player of the tournament, he could win Golden Boy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go that way either. I'm gonna rep my guy. I'm gonna go Luka Vuskovic.
And I'm gonna go Endrick.
Okay, that's a horrible shot. That guy sucks.
We'll see.
Manager of the tournament. Who do we think here, Pucc?
I think the manager of the tournament will be, and I would even think this is an award. I think this is just CIP.
Yeah.
I think the manager of the tournament will be Thomas Tuchel because he got a lot of flack about his selections, but I think his selections will prove correct in the end. Taking guys like Jed Spence over Lewis Hall, taking guys like Madueke over Bowen, taking a Jordan Henderson, which I still don't agree with, but I think you will see, leaving Harry Maguire out, I think the selections that he made, you will see them make a deep run because of this.
Okay. Mine, and again, I'm going a little bit more vague. Jesse Marsh. I think of the three host nations, Canada gets spoken about the least. And maybe I'm a little bit biased, but because I've heard his assistant coach talk one-on-one, I just think that this Canada team they have good foundations. They have a couple solid players. I can see them making a little bit of a run. And I think if so, people are going to look back and be like, wow, Jesse Marsh did an amazing job of this Canada team because a lot of people haven't really looked into Canada. Like they're kind of the third team. So I think that he could. Again, the reason why I'm going like this is because like it could just be Luis de la Fuente or Didier Deschamps.
Yeah.
Like that's
Trying
not
to make
fun.
it fun. Yeah.
Exactly. Breakout star. So this is just anybody who has an incredible campaign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
player that you're like, damn, like James Rodriguez from like 2014 type of player.
So we got to think a little bit here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go probably with. I'm gonna try and find one of my AFCON boys for this because I think AFCON will actually
That's
have
a
a
good
good
shout.
tournament. I'm gonna go with a name that may or may not be spoken about, like people may or may not know.
Yeah.
But Noah Siddiqui for DR Congo.
Okay.
So if you're a Prem fan, you know he's like kind of the engine for that Sunderland team. But I think in the general census, when it comes to the World Cup, you get a lot of casual fans.
Yeah.
And I personally think DR Congo will make a decent run in the tournament. And he will be the catalyst for that. He will people will be like, who the heck is this kid?
Okay.
So that's my breakout star.
I like the way you went with it. And I was between two. I decided to go also AFCON. My first guy was going to be Gilberto Mora for the Mexican national team. I remember him from a couple of years ago. I think he's only 18 when he was like just breaking out at, I think, Toluca. Watching the kid play is like watching Pedri. He's very, very good. And like the Mexican national team, he's poised to start for them, all that. Instead, though, I went with Ibrahim Mbaye from Senegal. At AFCON, he looked really good. He's a PSG kind of like wonder kid. And it feels like one of those guys that everyone's going to watch him and someone's going to spend like 60 million on him or something this summer. He's just an exciting young winger. I think he might be the breakout star of it. Not a golden boy type award, but I think he could be someone that everyone's like, who the fuck is this kid? Same as Gilberto Mora. It's always tricky because it could also be some like 30-year-old none of us have ever heard of that plays for Bosnia. Tim Payne. He's already been the breakout star, to be fair.
That's true.
He hasn't even touched the ball. True. That's aura. That's aura.
That is aura.
You wrote here the bomboclat moment.
Yeah. So
I don't even know how to describe that.
I'm between two. We don't need to describe it. If you know, you know. I'm between two. I think the first one that I probably will go with is there will be at least 3 30-yard screamers that go in as goals.
Okay.
In the group or throughout the tournament, where you're like sitting there and you're like, boom, but glad he just hit that from 40 out. And my second one, which I'm not going to go with, but it's an honorable mention in my head, is there will be at least one situation or one game where it will be like a 1-1 draw, maybe in like the third game of the group stage between like, I don't know, Bosnia and Canada to see who gets 2 and 3. And like maybe that means like the third place team is out of the tournament, right? And it'll be getting down to the wire. It's like the 81st minute. We get a thunderstorm delay, 30 minutes.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And you're just like,
that'd be awesome.
Like it's a great game, and it like gets delayed 30, and then with like 10 minutes left in that delay, it's like another lightning strike, so they have to delay it another 30, and everybody's sitting there like, this was such a good game.
All right, I have 2, same as you. The one I'm actually going to go with is I think Argentina get upset early in this World Cup. Yeah, I'm not saying like they're not going to get grouped, but I could see them. And again, we'd have to do the full bracket. We'll do that on the next episode. I can see them playing we talked about like a Senegal, one of these teams that a lot of people are like, whatever. And the team just plays hard and like they win 1-0 and win 2-1. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? Or they win in a shootout. It felt like it's all gone a little too rosy for Messi.
Yeah.
I feel like this might be the way. I think at the end of the day, I think Ronaldo's going to have like a little bit of the better World Cup, not performance wise, but like his team will go further. The one I didn't have is I think someone's going to get detained. I think a player is going to get detained. I think a player is 100% going to get detained. All right, overrated player of the tournament. This feels like such a hater award, but you go.
Yeah, well, it is. James Rodriguez for me.
Okay.
Um,
Is he
I
overrated though?
I mean, people are expecting him to be the like savior for that Colombia team.
Mm,
So it's like I feel like we have them technically in fourth. Like we have them getting grouped in a thing that's easy to kind of stay in like nowadays. So
okay.
I think he will be overrated where people are gonna like the casuals will sit there and be like, oh, Colombia has that guy James Rodriguez. Like all
Yeah.
the casuals will know James Rodriguez, and then they'll watch him play and they'll be like, Jesus Christ, this guy's overrated.
This is a really tricky award here. I like don't even know how to the most overrated player at this World Cup, Tim Payne.
Mm.
He has really started to blow up recently. Trying to think. If not Tim Payne, I'm going Tim Payne. I feel like it's going to be Tim Payne. No, it's not actually Tim Payne. I'm seeing. I just did a quick Google search just to make sure I'm not missing any names and just kind of swiping through some of the teams here on FOTMob. The number one on this list is Cristiano Ronaldo. Number two is Neymar.
Alexander Isak, maybe.
No, I like Isak. Oh, I have one. Ousmane Dembele.
There you go.
That guy's a bum. All right, the Riding Off into the Sunset Award.
Yeah, so this award is for kind of those older heads that this is their last ride. They're gonna be gone, and we basically can interpret this in any way we want, whether it's like we think their team will win it, we think they'll get the farthest, we think they'll have the best tournament.
Yep.
Um, I'm gonna go Neymar. I think will have the best riding off into the sunset. Not
Okay.
because I think Brazil will win it all, but I think they'll go far enough and he'll play a part in that team, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
from the bench or on the field, that will really bring it. Like all of those guys look up to him. Like I saw a video this morning and he's not on
Yeah,
the
they all
team, but
wanted him there.
yeah, like João Pedro was talking about like Vinny inviting him to his birthday party. He was
Yeah.
like, Marcelo and Neymar are gonna be here. And like João Pedro said, I'm going to the bathroom and I feel a tap on my shoulder and it's Marcelo. And he was like, I was like, oh my God, you know my name?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then Neymar comes up and he goes, João, what's up? And João Pedro was like, I could not speak. Like
yeah.
he was like, words could not come out of my mouth. And then my
Mm,
mother pushed me aside and shook Neymar's hand and started talking to him because she also loves Neymar. Like, so I just think the way that they get behind him, I think he'll have a moment in this World Cup where maybe they win on pens in the quarterfinals and he plays a part in that. Like he'll just have his moment of goodbye Brazil. And I think that's who I'm picking.
That's a really good shout. Shouldn't have let you go first there. Riding off into the sunset. So we think about some of these teams.
Luka Modric,
Yeah, my problem with
Messi,
Modric is
Ronaldo.
I do feel like this Croatia team, and I know it's probably back because of the Luka Vuskovic shout. My problem with Luka Modric is I could also see this Croatia team like this is finally the
Yeah,
tournament that they kind of like shit the bed a little bit.
De Bruyne,
Who?
De Bruyne,
No, this Belgium
Lukaku,
team sucks. This Belgium team sucks. Old head that's riding off into the sunset. I'm also thinking about
Marcus
managers.
Rashford. Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm thinking about Deschamps.
Ooh,
I'm thinking
that's a
about
good
Deschamps.
shout. I'm glad you're
Uh,
thinking about him. He'll be happy to know.
I'm going to take Didier Deschamps. You took Neymar would have been my guy. I think
Yeah,
Neymar,
yeah, yeah.
that would have been my guy, but I'm going to take Didier Deschamps. At the end of the day, I still think Spain win the World Cup. That's also probably a little bit of bias, but I don't think this French team, I think is one of the strongest. I think they're going to have a really strong World Cup. And I just think like Deschamps going to go out and like, even if it's a semifinal or a final, everyone's going to be like incredible run as manager.
Yeah.
They're going to appreciate it. So
Honestly, and like I know we're getting a little long here, but he may be the best international manager of all time. He brought France back. Have you seen that French documentary yet, The Bus?
yeah, that was insane. That was an
Right.
insane documentary.
And I think he was the manager at the 2014 World Cup as well. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
Let me look really quick. He started in 2012, so he was directly after that that whole whatever for that
Mm-hmm.
for the French thing. But although he only has a Nations League and a World Cup, he never won a Euros. but he brought them back from the abyss, and
Right.
he's
I
been there
mean,
for 14 years. He's won at least one World Cup. He got to the final in last World Cup.
yep.
He got to the final. Did he get
Did
to
he
the
win the
final
last
against
Euro?
Portugal? No, no, that was Spain. Spain against
No,
England.
no, 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 no. I'm sorry. I meant, did he win the Euro they won? Did they win a Euro? They didn't even win a Euro. They won the
No,
2018 World Cup.
no, but I think you're thinking of the 2016 where Ronaldo won it,
That
right?
one sucked. Yeah. Who did he beat? Did he beat France?
Thinks it was in France. I think that's why we're thinking about it. But he
Yeah.
could have also beaten France. Um, Let me look it up. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they did beat France on home soil. So he brought them to a
Yes.
final there as well. So it's like he brought them
Yeah.
2016 Euro final, 2018 win the World Cup, 2020 that weird kind of
Yeah.
thing. I think they went to the quarterfinals, I want to say, or the
Yeah.
semis, quarterfinals. They got knocked. Oh no,
They
they
got
didn't
knocked
even
out by
make it there.
Switzerland, right?
Yeah, in the round of
Right. In
16.
a penalty
But
shootout
then, yeah, then 22, they went
final.
to the final of the
Yep.
World Cup, and then 2024 they lost to Spain in the semis of the
Right.
Euros. So like he's getting them to
Yeah. I mean,
finals and semifinals over the past 14 years. He may honestly have the greatest run of an international manager we've ever seen.
no, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Of course, he's been blessed with a lot of incredible talent.
Yeah.
At the same time, but yeah, I mean, they have not failed. Where England, you would say, oh, we have like all this talent, and they've struggled at times, and of course they've done well, right? Like they made it to a Euro final, they made it to two Euro finals. Actually, they made
Two Euro
2020, they
finals.
made 2022, or sorry, 2024. What did they do in the last World Cup?
They lost to France in the quarters.
Okay, that's a tough one. And then 2018, they made those semifinal. They lost to Croatia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've also done well, but again, that's a team where you feel like they could have done more.
Well, I mean, realistically, they're one major trophy away from basically doing what the Champs did. The only issue is they've had Southgate and Tuchel. So it's like
Yeah, it's not a manager doing it.
Southgate didn't, if Southgate was still there and who won it, like you'd be like,
Yep.
hey, he's the same as Tuchel, but he did not.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, that's it for me and my UEFA Champions League less co-host Daniel Capucci. Let us know what you think about our World Cup predictions. We will be dropping on our socials the World Cup bracket challenge. Definitely get in there. We're going to figure out a reward for whoever wins that too. Is that a reward? Not a reward. A prize. A prize. A reward is like when someone does something for you.
Good boy.
Okay.
Like that's basically what it is. A reward. Is good boy. It's like, no, you're getting a prize. You're not getting a good boy.
That's it for us. Class is permanent. Form is temporary. We will see you guys next week. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.